5 seconds to point out what's wrong here. I mean, it kind of tells you right in the title what's going on, but that's right. We have a Klingon in a skirt because Klingons, they're known to be extremely dainty and feminine and just the least masculine beings in the universe. Now, people like to go with the whole kilt thing. Right now, put yourself in a dark alley. Who would you rather meet in a dark alley at this point? This fucking idiot, who you don't even have to do anything. The slightest breeze will knock this fucking asshole over. Or would you want, like, because again, people look at kilts like they're just dresses. It's a cultural thing. It's heritage. This is just pandering. This is pandering and political bullshit. I bet you this is non-binary or whatever the case is. This is pandering. This is cultural. Right now, you could take this freaking asshole in the dark alley. These guys, you look at the kilts and be like, well, they wear kilts, they're wearing dresses. But, do I really, can I? Oh, God. I think I'll just take this asshole. And this is what Star Trek is. And it's constantly emasculating their manly characters. Look at Picard. You have Jean-Luc Picard. You have an entire show for him. And he gets emasculated at every turn. He is constantly being being talked down to by women. He's constantly being put in his place. The captain, Jean-Luc Picard, is constantly being emasculated. Because we're not allowed to have masculine men anymore. We need to have emasculated men. We have to have strong, powerful women. Apparently, Klingons need to be non-binary and all this other bullshit. Star Trek, Starfleet Academy Klingon wearing a skirt sparks fan backlash at New York Comic-Con. Paramount and Skydance's controversial Star Trek Starfleet Academy made a big splash in New York Comic-Con, but not for the reason the studio intended. Among the lavish displays, massive booth installments, and preview imagery for the upcoming series, one photo has ignited heated discussion across the fan base. A male Klingon wearing a skirt. Again, it's not a cultural thing. It's not like a kilt. That's what separates kilts from this. This isn't a cultural thing. I mean, it is a culture if you think about it, like the that political culture that's going on right now. And we have another very feminine or not as masculine look. I bet you anything there's not going to be one masculine man in this fucking show. It's going to be all strong, powerful females. It's going to be people like this. What is wrong with being masculine? It's masculinity that allows you to keep your freedom. Yeah. So, I mean, it's masculinity that allows you to keep your freedom to do stupid shit like this. Because other countries, no, they don't allow this shit. But sure. For a franchise already walking a fine line between tradition and modern messaging, now it's not even really walking that line anymore. They've just completely, you're driving down the road and you're waiting to you're just straight line, and then you're waiting for where you can. They've already done. Actually, no, they've ignored that line in the middle completely. They've over in the middle lane. They've got traffic coming all at them, and they're wondering why everyone's honking because they just ignore that line completely. They've just completely crossed over. This design's choice. I think I was combining design and choice. So design choice has struck a nerve. Many fans fear that Starfleet Academy may revive the heavy-handed social politics that plagued Star Trek Discovery, rather than the character-driven adventure praised fans praised in past. Apparently, they did this once before. It happened like once or something, and then they never did it again. Why? Because they realized people didn't want it. They didn't want men walking around in fucking dresses. Controversial reveal. According to multiple attendees at New York Comic Con, the Klingon character in question, identified as Jaden Krag, appears on wall art and promotional material at the convention wearing a distinct skirt-style garment. The name itself has already raised eyebrows among fans for straying from traditional Klingon naming conventions, but the outfit choice has proven to be the real flashpoint. Jaden. So his name is Jaden? Jaden? We got him. We've got Johnny Micro. Absolutely zero chance a Klingon male would be caught dead wearing a skirt. Between this and the obese Jem'Hadar woman, and the 100% probability that this show is going to be just teen drama nonsense, I couldn't be less enthused about this new show. Again, Klingons, not exactly known for being feminine. Now, you can say every race has their outliers, every race has their rebel daddy. I'm a loner daddy, a rebel. But online reactions quickly pointed out the resemblance to a short-lived experiment from Star Trek The Next Generation, which Gene Roddenberry briefly insisted that male crew members wear skirts along all female officers to demonstrate a futuristic sense of gender equality. That idea was quickly dropped after widespread fan ridicule and poor audience reception. Huh. Maybe people don't want to look at men walking around in dresses. Huh. And guess what? They stopped doing it. And guess what? Ratings improved. Huh. Almost as if people should listen to what the audience says. Oh, we got Nerdrotic. A Klingon in a skirt. That's his, a Klingon in a skirt. TNG did it first. Who in Stove or approve this? Jack, I'm waiting for it. Actually, I want to say it was a kilt if I only heard about it verbally, but seeing it, it's definitely a skirt. First episode had 2 blacks and a guy in a skirt. I'd like to know who acts that BS right away. Save the show. We got. Oh yeah, man. These men are just masculine. They are just oozing masculinity. Such a diverse cast. I mean, I think that dude might be Hispanic. Black girl, maybe white girl, black dude, Hispanic dude, black dude, maybe white girl. Such a diverse cast. Oh my god, this is the best. They got to save all the straight white guys for the villains. They're going to be the ones walking around like, oh, what? Move out of the way, jerks. These are the ones who are like back in the day, the jocks like, get out of the way, faggot. That's what they're going to save the fucking straight white dudes for. They're going to be the ones walking around, oh, get the fuck out of the way, faggot. And then everyone's going to be like, did you just say what we think you said? He is not a faggot. He is a strong, powerful, independent, non-binary. And they're like, whoa, sorry, we didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Yeah, because straight white dudes, they're the villains. Everything. Every time. They're the source of all evil in this world. Now, nearly 4 decades later, Paramount seems to be revisiting the same aesthetic. And for many viewers, the same problem. Insiders have long warned that Starfleet Academy may carry over the tone and creative direction of Star Trek Discovery, rather than the more classical style of past iterations. At this point, I really don't. I, wait, what's this? Karen Knightley claims she was not aware of taking Rowling Hunter. Oh, I was like, Karen Knightley. When was the last time I saw anything regarding Karen Knightley? Uh, where was that? Now, where was I? Rather than more classical style of past iterations, the Tachyon Pulse podcast claimed to know someone who had seen several episodes of Starfleet Academy and described the show as not great. The host added that his contact found the writing awkward and that while the effects looked good, the ship designs were strange. He went on to criticize the series concept itself, calling it Star Trek 90210. Wow. Wow. Expressing concern that it focuses on teenage angst and chasing a younger audience while neglecting longtime fans. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be exactly what I said. Get ready for the jockish meathead going around saying, "Oh, out of my way, faggot," and then everyone has to rally up and defend the person who's being bullied, and everyone has to stand up against a mean white person. You're like, "Whoa, I didn't know that my words were hurting you. I'm so sorry, man." Outlets like Polygon, of course, Polygon, emphasize the grandeur of Starfleet Academy's production, noting the vast, high-quality campus sets, something showrunner Alex Kurtzman has described as the biggest Star Trek set ever built. Unverified fan press reports have speculated that the first season could cost as much as $20 million per episode, though Paramount has now not confirmed any budget figures. Mainstream outlets have largely avoided commenting on the Klingon in a skirt, leaving fan-driven discussion to dominate that particular controversy. The longtime Trekkies, the controversy feels less familiar. Star Trek has always incorporated social commentary. That's part of the franchise's DNA. But when that commentary overshadows the story, fans tune out. Yeah, that's unfortunately what happens with everything now. People don't know how to write a good story. It's just message, 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 message. And the story, it just takes not even second or third. I mean, the story is completely. If we're in a race and there's 10 people in that race, story is like number 20. Like, story is like that person who was supposed to be there but never actually showed up. You know, they don't care about story anymore. As long as their political shit can be pushed, they don't care about story. They don't care about character progression and you know, and any of that. It's like, we have a message. We're going to use this franchise to push our message. And that's all it is. And they wonder why these shows, you know, Star Trek, Doctor Who, movies like Star Wars, why the ratings or the views or the money and it's just not there anymore, because people are tired of it. People are tired of being preached to. People are tired of tuning into something like Doctor Who or Star Trek or Star Wars and being preached to about how white men are evil and, oh, look at the strong, brave, and stunning person of color, whatever, blah blah blah, whatever. People are tired of it. But Discovery's declining viewership and divisive reception are still fresh in many minds. Now, with Paramount banking heavily on Starfleet to capture a younger demographic, many fans worry that the franchise is about to make the same mistake again, chasing headlines instead of the heroes. That purple hair, Paramount and Skydance have yet to comment on the costume design or clarify whether the skirt has any cultural or narrative significance with Klingon society. Until then, the speculation will continue. Well, has skirts ever played a role in Klingon society? Or are you just going to make something up just to be able to show a Klingon in a fucking skirt? That's when it shows people who respect the lore, and then it separates those from who don't give a flying shit about the lore and will just make up anything to insert their own political bullshit. So ask yourself, has skirts or anything like that ever served a purpose in Klingon society? In the, 40 years or whatever it's been, 40, 50, however long Klingons have been around, have skirts ever played a role in their society? If the answer is no, then we know what they're going for here. Use your common sense, use your critical thinking and logic. If over the 50, however long it's been since the first Klingon was shown on Star Trek, if it has never played a role in their society, in their culture, and they're suddenly doing it now, what does that say? It's not because it's a part of their culture. Is there something you want to say? What? Is there something you want to say? Huh? 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 There's something in your eye. Hang on. There we go. Huh? What? So, just ask yourself that simple question. Until then, speculation will continue. Are you gonna what? Some optimists believe that design could simply reflect a cultural costume or ceremonial garb. Others see it as another example of modern identity politics being inserted into a once unifying sci-fi universe. Whether Starfleet turns, yeah, I mean, just remember that Stephen Colbert is in this. That tells you everything you need to know about the show. Like Star Wars, Star Trek was a boy brand. Now they've made it a girl brand, a gay brand, and it's lost its appeal. Indeed, it's a total joke, utterly pathetic. That's not how you make money, let alone great shows. Can I help you? Well, well, I love you. Meanwhile, girls in the alphabet cult don't watch it anyway. Yeah, that's the thing. The people that they're pandering to don't even watch it. They don't even watch it. So now that Klingons are portrayed by black actors, they're now putting those same actors in dresses. Typical of the flavor of the month writers. All the white dudes are boorish or stupid or both. The black dudes are betas, now being put into dresses. Of course, the women are in charge because they know it's best. This will be the framework for every plot. Everything after Voyager and Nemesis doesn't count. The franchise ended with Nemesis in 2002, and everything since has been glorified fan fiction. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, men are always like, have this portrayal now as they're incapable of doing anything without a woman standing right there and telling them, look, you see people like Indiana Jones, Luke, Skywalker, Picard, all these traditionally masculine men. I mean, Luke, not when you think of Luke, you wouldn't think of real masculine, but he was badass. But then suddenly they're being emasculated by women constantly. They make freaking Luke into this. They turn Picard into a dude who's getting emasculated by a woman in the series. Like, this is not a show, a movie. No, it's a series. Indiana Jones. You have Indy himself getting emasculated by a woman constantly. in that movie that just came out not too long ago. That's what they don't want masculine men. They want beta men who are constantly being told what to do by strong, powerful, independent women. That's why people like James Bond, same thing. You know, James Bond is not a beta male. He's not a feminine male. James Bond is like what you would think of when you think of masculine man. They don't like that. They want to take him and make him less masculine. But part of the course for freaking modern audiences, um, when the agenda and the message is stronger than the need to tell a good story, this is what you get. You get Klingons in skirts. And again, if skirts have never played a role in Klingon society, why do it now? When it's hot to do so, when it's trendy to do so, putting men in dresses. Anyway, that's good. I usually wave goodbye, but I can't really wave right now. So, Adam, do you have anything to say before I go? He's like, why would I say anything? You end the video, I'm still going to be sitting with you. You're right. Want to say anything to them? Hmm? Mwah. Little baby. Say hello. Yeah. Say hello to that fish. Mwah. Anyway, you guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Yep. Adam. Yeah. You guys know the drill. See you guys later.